And my microphone was off the whole time. Hello, Renita. Hello, Jared Better. How are you guys? Oh my gosh. Uh, tell you, man, like I always tell you, man, if it's not one thing, it's another. If it's not one thing, it's another. Hey, how's it going, Rebecca? Hey, hello, hello, hello. And so before we get started, well, Jerry, how was your Father's Day? Happy Father's Day, kind sir. Happy Father's Day. How was your How was your Father's Day? I'm not gonna lie to you. My Father's Day was actually pretty good. I went to go pick up the kiddo and um hit up Godfathers. Came home, just sat down and finished up my book. Oh my god, it was so good. Uh, I gave it a 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. It was still good though. Hold on, guys. Thank you guys. Thank you, sister. My actual sister-in-law. Thank you, Alexis. I reached out to John today. I don't think I got a call back. I called him like as soon as I got up this morning because I think he sent me a text message. And as soon as I rolled out of bed, I called him. I figured that he was probably just asleep or something. Not sleep, but knowing him going to work or working or something. But no, thank you guys so much for that. Thank you. So, Jerry, what did you do? And what did John do today? Did he go do something? Here's the thing. I'm not one of those guys that are big on um are big on stuff like this. Like I'm really not. I'm the type of dad that honestly, like I'd have rather just kind of been at home by myself, kind of hang out and read my book like I did today. Especially because it's on a Sunday. I would rather go do stuff Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, stuff like that. Like during the daytime, I wouldn't want to do it on that Sunday because you got a bunch of other people out celebrating the same type of stuff. I don't like that. It's not a thing. And if it's my day, it should be my day to do absolutely nothing. It should be my day to do nothing. Oh, please. Hey, Cameron. What's going on, my guy? Happy Father's Day to you, sir. Mr. Cameron Coons. Good gosh. I haven't seen you in many moons, kind sir. Many moons. Hey, Jesse. Hello. How was your father's how was your Father's Day for your dad, Jessica? Yeah, so for some reason it keeps doing that weird shit that it was doing before. So I can barely see anything. If you come in here, Cameron, everybody's going to say hello to you, sir. That's the type of hospitality that we have. We have that. We got that Chick-fil-A type of hospitality. Food ain't all that great, but the hospitality is what keeps you coming back. Well, would you guys agree? Give me one sec, guys. Oh wow. Okay, I'm trying. Sorry, I'm trying to Give me one second. Okay. Minus the bigotry, huh? They went to family dinner minus the bigotry. Okay. Huh? I mean, yeah. Some families are gonna do that, man. That's funny. Hey, it's not, but it is. It's funny. Okay, so anyway, um, I made some more. I put some more of our. Oh, really? Do they? Is that how they? I didn't know that. Is that how they function? I mean, yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, anytime I go there, they've always been pretty awesome to me. I mean, except for the whole church shit that they got going on, but Hobby Lobby is the same way. Okay, then they should call it Hateful A. Hateful A. That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay, well, all right. I'm just saying. I mean, here's the thing: from everything I've seen from them, their hospitality is unmatched. Unmatched. Well, here's the thing: we will give people. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know that. I mean, I did about Hobby Lobby, but again, I thought it was just that hey, they have a particular thing that they don't like to be open on certain days, and they don't like to do this, that, and the other, and yeah, okay, I didn't know that. All right. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you though, Rebecca. I mean, we're running out of places to shop. It almost seems like everybody feels that way. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying about the LBG community or anything like that. I'm just saying, just in general, man. These it's almost seems like the times where don't nobody give a fuck. Whereas back in the day, you can hide your bigotry or you can say, no, I didn't say that. Nowadays, they just out with it. If they don't like you, they will tell you to your face, don't like you. But here's the thing. I would also say, with that said, I'm not going to lie to you. I appreciate that. I very much appreciate it. Because what that does is that tells me that, okay, cool, you don't want my money, not a problem. Take it somewhere else. I 100% agree with you. I 100% agree with you. I remember when I was younger, in my early 20s, they used to have this they had this whole thing going on with, rappers and jewelry a lot of it started with drug dealers and shit, and then the rappers imitated and emulated what they saw with the flashy. Yeah, for sure, I agree. Um, being it's they were emulating and imitating what they saw, and again, I'm young and impressionable, so I'm walking around with chains on and uh, bracelets and you know watches, and again, all of it's fake as fuck. And I was watching this video today, and they were talking about how these jewelers are doing the same exact thing now that they were doing 20, 30 years ago. And a lot of like these rappers are spending, this dude spent $500,000 on a $40 watch. By the time everything was said and done and they checked it and decided, he was like, yeah, this thing's only $40. He spent $500,000 for $40. I was like, wow, that's crazy, right? And sadly enough, I mean, there's just people that feel like, I need this to look good. I need this for my appearance and stuff like that or whatever. I don't know what happened to those chains. I don't know um what happened to those necklaces. I used to have like all these rings and this, that, and the other. Like even the rings that I have, they're philosophy rings. So this one is Memento Mori, and this one is Memento Mori basically means that remember that you're mortal, remember that you're gonna die. And then my other ring is Amor Fati, which basically means to accept your life as it is, right? So it's accept your life and just know that you're gonna die. You're mortal, right? And my other one is my car ring, right? To start my car. Other than that, that's it. That's it. The watches that I have, you can find that shit at Walmart. Like seriously, I would rather spend more money on books and learning type stuff. I mean, beside my car, but like I used to buy shoes like crazy. Then it got to the point where I just wear my Skechers or my Crocs. So I'm like, the fuck do I need all this other stuff for? You know what I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. But anyway, all right, man. Let's jump in and get started. Hold on. Right. No, and that's what I'm saying. I for some reason it just there it is. Right. Yeah, spent $500,000. This one dude had literally $1 million worth of shit on him, jewelry on him, and I'm sitting there looking like, man, dude, when you're broke as shit, you're going to wish to God you didn't spend that on that. But young and inexperienced, right? I don't know. Anyway, all right, let's jump in and get the ball started. So today we are. Let me make sure that we can see everything. Okay, can you guys see all that? Okay, so today is the seventh part of our um, journey where we talk about the hero's journey. Today is part 7. We have 2 more after this, but this is the Abyss, and the death and rebirth. And today we're going to kind of talk about the that sometimes you have to die before something can be born, like within us or whatever. So um I think tonight would be a kind of a cool thing or whatever, especially after passing the threshold and all that stuff. So we'll kind of get going from there. So if you are easily offended, we talk about a lot of stuff on our show. My name is Fearless Cummings. That is actually my uh, somebody's talking to me about something. I don't know. Um, oh hey, thank you, ma'am. Happy Father's Day type of thing. My name is Fearless Cummings. I'm your host and life coach for Ags Fearless. On our show, we talk about dreams, goals, aspirations, and or problems. My job as your host and your consigliere is to give you guys some tools and tips for your dreams, goals, aspirations, and or problems. The difference between therapy and coaching is, for the most part, because they both do amazing things, therapy kind of goes back and they stay back there in a lot of cases. Coaching, we may have to touch on it, but we're usually in the present and looking forward. That's our thing. Okay. So that's what we do here. We might touch on the past, but we bring it to the present, work from here to the future. So that's kind of what we're doing. If you're into that type of stuff, wonderful. If you're not, you don't have to be here. Everything that I do is based on a teaching type of format because people, I think, learn better when they can see what they're talking when you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. So without further ado, let's get our clap on. Oh, bam. Today's 86. Sorry about that. 86 episodes that you guys have been on this thing with me. 86 episodes, yo. Cause you guys, it's crazy. But we clap not only for ourselves, we are also uh clapping because if you don't clap for you, nobody else will. You give people permission to clap for you, and you're also clapping not only for myself because I do appreciate that, but being here with me for these 86 episodes out of 100. Because once we do our 100, I still don't know what I'm gonna do from there, right? But I do appreciate you guys. Nonetheless, thank you so much. Again, today we are talking about the abyss, death, and rebirth. Today is number 7 of our hero's journey. So, being that today's that episode or whatever, if for those of you who are joining us, this is the 7th episode of 9 of them. But the very first one is the ordinary world, which is our everyday life. Number 2 is answering that call, that inner whisper that you hear, refusing the call, which everybody does. So you might get that chitter chatter. You might be like, man, nah, I don't have what I need. I'm not ready for nothing like that. I'm not old enough. I'm too young or this and the other. Whatever your excuse is, everybody gives it. Okay. Number 4 is meeting your mentor, whether it's a person, place, or thing, or animal, insects. I mean, you can learn from anything if you want to. Number 5 is crossing that threshold, which is that inner conflict that we hear. Number 6, which is what we talked about yesterday, dealing with outside forces. And today is what happens after you cross that threshold. What happens after you're tested, you with your friends, your family, all that stuff. Now, some part of you has to die off. Some part of you has to die off. To me, this is the proverbial where the rubber meets the road. This is where the person that you were is introduced to the person that you're about to become. This is that moment that happens. And the reason why I love talking about this and teaching this stuff is because it's literally a whole entire roadmap that takes you from point A to point B. That's what it does. Anytime you get lost or you're frustrated, things are complicated, go back here. Go back here. You can watch it. You can see it in real time. If you need a mentor, you you already know where you are, right? So I'm just saying this is why I love teaching this stuff because it's some good stuff. All right, so in the Matrix, I bring this up because it's one of my favorite movies or whatever. Morpheus, there is the god of dreams, and during a part in the Matrix, I think it was part two. Um, he said, "I have dreamed a dream, but now that dream is gone for me." And in a lot of cases, usually what that means is that we think that things are going to go one way and they're not. We think that we have everything figured out and we don't. And that dream sometimes, unfortunately, a version of you has to die before something else takes over. So what the point is that if you look into the movie The Matrix within itself, he literally dies. And then he wakes up as the person that he was supposed to be. So as I wrote here, his old identity could not enter the next stage of that reality. So that part of him, death had to be required. And the point is that sometimes the only way to unlock that power of who we are is a version of us has to die off. And it has to die off. And everybody has to die off at certain points. I think, and here's the thing though, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that it happens more times than we think that it does. Because that's happened to me several times. Once I think I was 21 years old. I was in this small town in Nebraska, outside smoking a cigarette and wondering, like, where's my life going? Right? And a few days after that, I had this unquenchable, what I call it, unquenchable thirst for knowledge, to read everything. I liked reading before, but something else just like flipped on or shut off or whatever. And the reason why I bring that up is because I think what happens is that when a part of you dies off, for the most part, you're usually the last to know. Like you don't realize it. And then I remember I came back down to Omaha. I ran into a friend of mine that I hadn't seen in years. And we were sitting there talking. This dude's talking about gang shit and whose neighborhood is the hardest, who's a punk, who got shot, all this shit. And I'm sitting there listening to this. And I'm like, God damn. Like, this is the type of conversation that I used to be enthralled in. And I don't want to talk about none of this shit. This dude is the same age as me. No house, no car, still running the streets doing dumb shit. At that point, I got 2 cars, my own apartment, full-time job, live out of town, all that shit. When he saw me, he's like, dude, whose car is that? I'm like, it's mine. So like that, I always think about that, right? That a part of you has to die off. Okay. There's another book called What Got You Here Won't Get You There. And that's kind of what that book talks about too, is a part of what got you to wherever you are may not get you from here to there. Something else has to take over. You have to learn a new skill, do something different, scale something down, scale something up in order for you to move forward. That's how that works. All right, so please grab yourself a pen and pad or whatever you need to get focused. Snacks, drinks, blankets, nugget, charger, reading glasses. I don't know. Go grab it again. Because we're about to learn some shit, right? Here's the thing. I am only here to help. Okay. That's it. I'm not here to preach to the choir because I'm sure you guys already know everything I'm going to talk about, but I'm here to help. That's it. And so please, if I say something that you don't like, call me out. Let me know. Okay? Call me out, let me know. All right? But before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, can I get a proverbial? Hold on, where's my actually I created a new theme thing. Hold on. But damn it, I can't find it now. Hold on, here it is.
World fraught with confusion. One man will break his silence. In a world
Don't act like you don't like that shit. Give me my hell yeah. And don't act like you don't like that. That was pretty good. Who do we have in here tonight? The same people. Same people. And I appreciate the shit out of y'all. Thank you guys. Thank you, Jerry Bear. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Miss Renita. Thank you guys so much. Why does this thing keep... Gosh. They keep shutting off. Either way, thank you guys so much. So much. And I'm pretty sure you guys already know what's coming. Thank you to Christopher and Miss Anya. You guys are amazing. As usual, thank you. But you guys know what that sound is. It is Word of the Week. Word of the Week sponsored by Persistence. Yes, persistence is the ability to keep going despite obstacles, setbacks, or slow progress. Staying committed until the goal is reached. Does that mean we stop? Fuck no. It means we keep going. Right? So what is our daily duality of persistence? Hold on, I'm going to turn this down a little bit. What is our daily duality of persistence? Well, there's two of them. Our synonym is grit, courage, and resolve in the face of pain or struggle. Okay? And our antonym, which is the opposite of persistence, is yielding, giving away, or backing down easily. How many people do we know that back down or back off of shit constantly? I know people who do that. Hell, I was one of them. Just throwing it out there. All right, I think that we're good with our song. Christopher, I hope you got your dance on, sir. Next time I see you, I want you to have some dancing shoes on. Oh, hold on. I wanted to bring this to you guys. Hold on, watch this.
Your discretion is advised.
You guys like this? You guys probably wondering, hold on, why is there thunder and lightning going? Because, ladies and gentlemen, you're now entering the learning zone. I was going to do a laugh, but fuck it. You guys get it. I mean, I'm trying some shit, messing around. Like it. All right, so again, we're going back to our, what we were talking about before, the abyss, the death, the rebirth, right? So, one of the things, I've talked about this on multiple occasions, is that Jesus is not the only person who's had that story of being resurrected. Whether you look at that from a literal standpoint with him, or a physiological, or a metaphorical standpoint with us, that all happens, right? There is always a death and a rebirth with all of us. Most of the time, like in the Jewish community, they have it where the death is yeah, babe, from 0 to 12. And then 12, they have what's called a bar mitzvah, right? Where the child becomes an adult, right? It's kind of like a cultural initiation, which is really crazy because that's been a cultural thing for thousands thousands of years. If you ever wonder why gang members become gang members usually around the age of 11, 12, or 13, because that's usually an initiation from a child to become a man, especially with men. With women, I think that it was something else or whatever, but men, it was usually around 11, 12, or 13. And if you look at gang members, when they become gang members when they're 11, 12, usually 13 years old. A little older sometimes, whatever, but it's usually within that age group, right? So, sadly enough, these individuals are looking for that cultural initiation that they were supposed to have from their elders. There's a lot of African communities and uh, countries that still practice those initiations, right? There's a lot of them that still do. Whatever. Unfortunately, we've taken that and we've put it towards something else because although we do it, we just do it differently, more destructively than anything else. Okay. Hold on. Let me see if you guys said anything. Did he? Nope. All right. Ain't better. So, okay. So the closer that you get, the louder that fear um, jumps at you. It's going to come get you. Right. So the example is you're about to leap, but suddenly you feel the urge to run. You're about to leap, but you suddenly feel this urge to just get up and go. And when we talk about that urge to get up and go, it's that urge to run back. Not to go forward, but to go back. You know? And I mean, and unfortunately that does happen. So the question we have to ask ourselves is this fear or is it the ego trying to survive? Is this really fear or is this the ego trying to survive? And I can almost assure you that it's usually your ego trying to survive. Because here's the thing. Now, some of you guys might say, well, no, it could be fear too. Possibly. But remember, fear is the body's biological weapon to tell you that you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. So no, it's okay to be scared. It's okay to be fearful in that situation. That's okay. But like I said before, is the ego trying to survive? And sometimes that's what has to die off. The ego, not the fear. Fear's not going anywhere. That's going to stay with you. Right? Listen, a name is just a fucking name, which is mine. Right? People gave it to me. Bam, there it is. That's how that works. But actual fear has to stay with you. It doesn't go anywhere. It is your bodyguard for everything that could happen around you. Okay? So reality is ego fights hardest before it dies. Our ego fights the hardest before it dies. Has to. That ego ain't trying to let shit go. Right? Do you guys understand what I'm saying about that? Like how important that is to understand that fear is okay. Like that's fine. It's just moving outside of your comfort zone. That's all that is. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like I know certain people, y'all, who won't even face certain people because they're scared of certain shit. I'm like, I don't understand why. Just go talk to them and get it over with. No, I don't want to do that. That lets me know the type of coward that certain people are. Right? How many of us know people like that? that refuse to move past their comfort zone. And even though they move past certain things, they keep running back to where they were. How many of us know people that will consistently keep running back? These are those same individuals who can be 40, 50 years old and still doing the same shit they were doing when they were 16 years old. I know a dude right now, grown ass man, still does the same shit he was doing when we were 17. This dude ain't got a pot. This man he ain't got a pot to piss in and a house to throw it out of. A car, nothing. 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 Grown ass man. Modern day hippie. An urban outdoorsman. Just saying. What's an alcohol problem? Okay. So our action is don't pause, push through. Okay. Fear is your signal, not your stop sign. Shit. Christopher said, I know somebody like that too. Yeah. Yeah, ain't that crazy? Right? But they haven't understood that's a part of growth. Some of that shit gotta die off. You know? I mean, have somebody go with you. So I would. Especially if I was scared on some shit. Renita said I too. Thank you, dear. Here, I'll put my eye up as well. 3. Sorry, there we go. All right, number 2. Old stories try to resurrect themselves. Old stories try to resurrect themselves. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Okay. Old story, and Jerry said I too. Old stories are always trying to resurrect themselves. Example, just before evolving, you start acting like your old self again. In the health and human services field, I've been in this field since I was 19. I'm 46 years old. So long time. I've seen this on so many different occasions. I worked with a guy for 4 or 5 years. He was doing so good. And then right before the precipice of his change, he resorted right back to the way he used to be. When I worked with him, we had 0 hospital visits. In 4 years, almost 5 years, there were 3 police involvements, no hospital visits. He hasn't been gone from my services for a year. He has had over 16 police involvements. He's been to the hospital twice now. And I was always asking, why doesn't this guy's guardian call me and ask me what I did and how I got so much success out of them? And the reason is because they think that they know everything. Cool. And at the behest of that individual, he's going to consistently keep suffering because the people that are supposed to be in charge of his care don't give a shit. You know? Jerry, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Exactly what I'm talking about. This dude was a terror before I started working with him. A terror. I started working with him, no more problems. So what did I do where that problem stopped? Then as soon as he leaves my house, he starts doing it again. You know what I did? When I started working with this individual, I called the person who worked with him before I took over his case. And I noticed that with like 3 or 4 different staff members, he did well with only one. I called that staff and I said, "Hey, I'm thinking about working with this individual. Can you tell me what you did when you worked with him? Because I saw you get success with him more so out of anybody else." He said, "Yeah, it was real simple. Your yes has to be yes and no has to be no. That dude is a grown ass toddler. Yes has to mean yes, no has to mean no. Boundaries have to be set before he walks in your house. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's all it is. After that, you won't have no problems." Oh, so set the boundaries as soon as he walks in. Yes, because if you set it later, you're gonna have all kind of problems. Got it. Didn't have no issues like that with him. See what I'm saying? I didn't have issues like that with him. Right? I'm just saying, it happens. So just okay. So our question is, what identity am I clinging to that no longer fits? What identity am I holding on to that no longer fits where I'm trying to go? That's a question that's a philosophical question that we have to ask ourselves. What am I holding on to that's not going to fit over here? If you were raised in gangs and this and gangs and trauma and drama and jail and all this other stuff, you're probably not going to feel comfortable being around a bunch of professional businessmen. You're probably not going to feel comfortable being around them, right? Especially bringing that old stuff with you. That ain't going to work. If you're the average of the 5 people that you hang around most, and you just so happen to find yourself in the midst of 4 other individuals that are highly successful, that are tact in every way, either you get with the program or you getting kicked the fuck out of the group. I'm gonna say that again. Either you get with the program or they're gonna kick you out the group. That's how that works. See what I mean? That's how that works. I've seen people go so far to the tattoos that they had, they went and had them removed because they wanted in that in crowd so bad. And they became, remember those people that I told you about that have become millionaires? What do you think I was talking about? Just saying. Just saying, right? Okay, so reality is that ego survive the ego survives through repetition. Transformation demands surrender. Think about that. Ego survives through repetition, but your transformation demands surrender. What does surrender mean? It means, bro, you gotta let go. You gotta let go. You know, I don't know what happened to you back then. I don't know the type of person that you were back then. But moving forward, if that's the life that you want out there, then some of that shit you were doing back here gotta stop. You gotta cut that. It's not gonna work for us anymore. We gotta do something better. We have to apply for something more. Okay? All right. Let's go to the next one. All right, so what is our action? Break that pattern. Mourn who you were. And again, we talked about this before. It's okay to mourn the death of the shit you did. It's okay to even bring some of that shit up. Reminiscing over nostalgia. Dude, when I get with old friends, like even Cameron, I'm sure he ain't on there no more. But That dude will tell you I was something totally different in my teens because he knew me then. This dude got all kind of gang bang pictures of me, just throwing up gang signs and all kinds of shit. Like I was about that dumb shit. Dumb shit. All of us were. Now we're all grown men with kids. And I still know some dudes who are over 50 who still gang bang. Like, who are you banging against, bro? At that point, motherfucker, you should be banging against the IRS. Since they taxing your goofy ass for everything. Like, Jesus. You know what's so great? You know what actually got me to stop and put all that gang stuff away? Is I was watching, I think it was the Chinese dude. I don't think it was in Japan. I think it was in China. He said when we're kids, everybody joins a gang. Everybody. Just happens, right? Everybody joins. But then once you hit 16, 17 years old, whatever the kid gangs were, you stop that and you enter into something else that's more permanent. So everybody has Bloods and Crips in Japan and China. But once you hit a certain age, they stop that shit and they go into something new. So it's not that they stop gangs. It's that they stop the childish shit. And then they go in to the more serious type stuff. And some of them don't. Some of them go off to be family men, businessmen, this, that, and the other. But they don't, there's no 50-year-old Blood and Crip in China. Not at all. Not that actually lived there, born there, grew up there. No. No, they were like Wang Chung or some shit like that from like 0 to 13, or they do it for a little bit. Then once they hit a certain age, that shit's done. They go into something else. So they surrender whoever they were to who they need to become. You're saying, okay? So, but again, like I said, whenever me and Cameron get together or the group of us, we will talk about all kinds of shit that we used to do and laugh over it because some of the shit I did was so crazy. Like, I don't know if you guys are saying anything, but hold on, let me go back. All kinds of shit that we used to do and laugh over it. Like, I don't know if you guys are. Sorry, give me a sec, guys. God damn, what? Sorry, I'm just kind of going back through because I can't see anybody's comments. Yeah, this thing's not letting me see anything. Sorry about that, guys. Hey, man, I think we may have to. God, I hate this thing. So anyway, yeah, so yeah, let's just keep it going. If you guys are saying anything to me, I am so sorry. I can't see anything. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, so anyway, So is everybody getting this? Are you guys still with me on here? Anita? Okay, there they are. There's Chris and Miss Anya. Of course, there you guys are. Like, what do you got? What do you guys think about this so far? About a part of us having to about a part of us having to die off. What do you guys think about that? I mean, do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you guys have any stories amongst that? I mean, I'm not saying that you guys gotta sit and keyboard warrior this shit or whatever, but like, are you guys feeling where I'm coming from on this? Because I do. Like, I'm just saying, like that. For me. I know that it's something that I've had to go through. Um, I don't know if other people have had to go through the same thing. I don't know. I know that for me, it's I know that in order for me to move forward, I had to I had to let go of some horrible habits. Horrible habits. What say you, Chris? What do you think? Well, I mean, Chris, I know for you, I know for a fact you had to. You know what I'm saying? Like seriously, like Miss Anya said yes. Thank you, Miss Anya. But again though, I just yeah, and again, that's why I'm always talking about this. I love that stuff, man. I mean, and even with you, Chris, like I know you did because like I said, I'm always talking about it. Like me and you, I did not like you at all because of some of the shit you did or we're doing now. We cool. But again, you had to change some of that stuff that you were doing, not thinking, not expecting, but doing. And once you change that, and then you stay consistent with it, our dynamic changed. Now, shit, we going on vacation together. I mean, well, what do they do that at? You know what I'm saying? You don't go on vacation with people that you don't like. You know what I'm saying? Now we going on whole family vacations together, man. So no, I love that part. Love that. Okay, so question is so what if being alone isn't punishment? Yeah, he said it takes getting to know me to see the real me. Until that point, it's hard to see me as anything else but what you saw. Correct, correct. But what I saw was pretty troublesome, though. Yes, I mean until I got to understand who you were, that was pretty troublesome stuff, though. Correct. That was pretty troublesome. But then once I truly got to understand the person behind some of this shit, like, oh, okay, 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 okay. But I mean, but yeah, though. I mean, that still happens, though. Again, I don't care who you are. I mean, if you rub a person the wrong way, that's that's what's gonna happen. Hopefully, you can get around a person that, yeah, I agree. I agree. But again, though, Chris, like I think that you would agree that some of the stuff that you do sometimes is why people feel that way. You see what I'm saying? Some of the things you do is what allows a person to think like, wait a minute, hold on, did I just see this? You see what I'm saying? And again, I'm happy that I can at least look a little past it to kind of see the type of man that you actually were and just kind of go from there. So I will say that. And I tell you all the time, bro, I appreciate how you treat Anya. I love how you treat my friend. Love it. I love that. So anyway, and so the reality is that the innermost cave, sorry, the inmost cave is entered alone for a reason. And basically what we're talking about is that isolation isn't always a signal that you're lost or whatever. So Buddha, I think, went off in a desert or wilderness and sat up under a tree for 40 days. Jesus went to the wilderness by himself for however long. I think Krishna did some of the same type of stuff as well. You know what I mean? So again, we all have to go into those modes or those points of isolation. Guys, if you guys are saying anything, I'm sorry. I can't see anything. I have to keep going out and nope. That's nobody said anything. Okay. Um, but but again, that happens. You know what I'm saying? That we have to have those times where we're alone, those times when we're by ourselves. You know? So the action is to stop running from the silence because that's where resurrection begins. Bro, can you please stop running in and out? Sorry. And I'm on. Like, please stop. So again, so we're running. So that basically means that we have to stop running from that silence. Silence is that thing that helps us go from point A to point B. It's kind of like the reset, right? You know, if your computer or your phone is messing up, what do? You reset it, unplug it, shut that motherfucker off, wait a couple minutes, turn it back on, let it reset, right? Let it reset. I mean, whether it's a hard reset or a soft reset, I think sleep would be more like a hard reset. But you still need those times where you're awake and just breathe a little bit, chill, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Each and every one of us will have to enter that so-called cave. Okay. Number 4, you cannot take everything with you. You cannot take everything with you. Example, you want to rise, but refuse to release habits, people, and ego. What does that mean? You want to move forward. You want to progress. You want to change. You want to do all these things, but you refuse to let your habits go. You refuse to let those shitty ideas you got going go. You refuse to look at those beliefs that you have that have been preventing you from moving forward. You refuse to let your ego or your pride dissipate. Right? You want to move, you want to get better, but you refuse to do what's necessary. You got to leave some shit behind. One of the greatest things that I liked about moving is that when you move, you get to trash a bunch of shit that you no longer need. There's those guys, the minimalist guys, they were talking about putting everything. They said put out, maybe 7 days of clothes, underwear, socks, t-shirt, pants, shirts, stuff like that or whatever, right? Whatever you're going to need on an everyday basis, put that in the closet or put that, out. Everything else, box it up. So you're going to need your toothpaste. You're going to need cereal. You're going to need your coat. You're going to need your glasses, right? There's certain things you're going to need. But everything else, box it up. Box it up. Give it a month or so, and then get rid of the box. Because for the most part, the shit that we carry, the stuff that we keep, we don't even need it anymore. Y'all hear me? We don't even need it no more. We're using stuff. We keep shit just because we just like having stuff. Not because we need it. Because we just like having it. And I do that. I do the same shit. I just got finished reading a book. Now, what I will do, and I'll tell you this, I give away all my excess books. So if I bought a book or I have another one, I'll call somebody like, hey, you want this? Here you go. Drop it off or come get it, whatever. But I do that a lot because I have so many books, I'll usually buy doubles or sometimes even triples, depending on if it's a good book or not, right? But you can't take everything with you. So our question is what's weighing me down that used to feel like protection? What's weighing me down that used to feel like that? And sometimes it's this shit that people gave us. It's those habits that we have that we can't let go of. That ego, your pride. I've seen pride destroy all kinds of shit. Show of hands, how many of you guys have seen pride destroy more people than anything else? How many of y'all seen pride kill off more relationships than anything else? How you couldn't just go tell that woman how you felt about her. How you couldn't go tell homeboy, hey man, that this is what I'm feeling. There's gonna be some relationships, ladies and gentlemen, that you're not gonna be taking with you. Some people can't handle that. Okay? Reality is that you can't carry dead weight into a new identity. When I wrote out my constitution for myself, when I wrote out my value system for myself, if you guys remember, I told you that it's kind of like running into a burning house, grabbing only what you can use. I had to let the rest of that shit burn because I couldn't use it no more. My beliefs weren't working for me. I had really no real set values anymore. Constitution, I really didn't even know what the fuck that was. I had to write all that stuff out for myself. So that's the reason I could talk about it so freely, because I had to do it. When everything was up against the ropes. I'm teaching you guys at least how to do this shit now so you don't have to go there. Because I'm telling you, that shit sucks trying to figure it out when you're already drowning. So you have a little boy in the car with you and it's fucking freezing. And people seeing you struggle and not even offer to fucking help. Just saying. All right? So what's our action? Our action is that grieve it if you must, but let it go. Grieve it if you must, but let it go. Yeah, I hear that. All relationships end though on here. All of them. Nothing lasts forever. But while and that's the thing that's that's great about relationships now. That's the amazing thing about relationships is that they don't last forever. So you appreciate them while you have them. You tell people how much you love them while they're there now. Because tomorrow ain't promising not one of us. Regardless of how mad I get at my kid, which is not often, I still never forget to tell him how much I love him. Never. I don't. I don't. Because I know that one day this is going to end. That might be a morbid thing to say, but that's what my ring tells me. And again, my ring, it says it along the crest of it, but it's facing me so I can see it. It's not facing you so you can read it. So when I do that, I can see it because I can read it. So it's not like, oh, I know what that means. No, it's like this. So I can see it. I can read it. Right? Again, all this shit starts with you. And that's the reason why, like in certain relationships that I have with people and stuff, like I try to let people know exactly where I'm at, how I'm feeling about certain stuff, right? You want to let people know that. Because tomorrow's not promising any of us. You know? Not to any of us. All right, let me make this bigger. I don't know if anybody else has said or saying anything. Because I can't oh, look at that. Yeah. Okay, I can see all you guys' stuff now. Gang signs and Cameron. Yeah, Cameron has all the pictures. No joke. Makes a lot of sense. Thank you, Miss Renita. Yes, and that's my point, Renita. We all have several rebirths, several deaths, several rebirths. Yes, that's my point. So it's not just a one-time thing or whatever. It's a continuous death and rebirth, abyss, death and rebirth, abyss, death and rebirth, where you get to that precipice. They're like, dude, what am I doing? And then when you step over that threshold, a part of you has to stay behind. That part that stays behind is gone now. And then you move on to the new you. So it's like shedding that proverbial skin that you have, or shedding that skin, just like a snake would. And again, as they get bigger, they shed it, right? Get bigger, shed, get bigger, shed. That's what happens. So we consistently keep going through this throughout our lives. Most of us, whether we know it or not, um, just choose not to recognize it. That's all. Yes. Yeah, we replace most of our cells every 7 years. Yep. You don't go on vacation with people that you don't like in case we. Oh, wow. She said, yeah, you don't go on vacation with people that you don't like. In case we ever forgot, Fearless grew up as a ward of the state. Many of us vacation with people we don't like. God damn. I stand corrected. Okay, I can. Yeah, damn. Oh, God, fuck. Okay, so yeah, so I don't know where I'm at uh for the most part now. Hold on. Hey, you guys keep talking, so I do appreciate it. Let me ask you guys: do you guys have access to YouTube? Because I'm honestly thinking about probably just switching everything over there. Like I we can still um do this, but like I can see anytime that Chris and Anya are on, I see them, we can talk and everything. For some reason, I don't know what it is with Facebook where do this, but like I can't see anything. And that sucks, man. Chris, you know what I'm saying, right? Right. No, and that's my point though, Miss Anya, is that no, you're right. The love that we have for people will never die. Never. But people do. And that's my point. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can be together for the rest of your lives and all that stuff. But again, one of y'all gonna go. Or hopefully both of you go at the same time. I don't know. But somebody will, every relationship will end. All of them. And somebody will be hurt. Period. And again, and my point is not to focus on how it happens. My point is to focus on the fact that we love these people while they're here now. So yeah, you're right. The love that we have for certain people will not pass on as long as we're here. Like I still love my mama, but she been dead forever. I still love my father. He's been dead on what a month now. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that we don't love these individuals and this and the other. I'm not saying that's going to die. That doesn't. That will be here no matter what. The love that we have for them will be here, but sometimes they won't. Yeah, I know, Miss Anya. That works too. All right, so the real fight happens right. The real fight happens right before the fight. So what do I mean by that? You think that the hard part is out there, but it's usually happening inside of us. Which again, you already know that because that's where everything starts. So the question is what if isn't a breakdown, but a breakthrough disguised as pain? I'm gonna say that again. What if this isn't a breakdown, but a breakthrough disguised as pain? How many times have we seen certain things happen where we're breaking down, but it's not really a breakdown? You're breaking through. But you're in that picture at that point, so you don't realize that. You know what I mean? Like you don't realize that at all. And sometimes you may not realize it until somebody else brings it up. Because if you run across somebody like me, I'm surely going to show you a different perspective of how I'm seeing it. But here's the thing: I have to ask myself, or have somebody else ask somebody else, like, "Hey, what do you think about such and such?" Right? Am I going crazy on this? Is this just me? You know how many times I have to ask Jessica, "Hey, and let me tell you something," and then you tell me if I'm right or wrong, or maybe maybe I'm just looking at it from a different perspective, and not all the time. I would say 6 out of 10 she'll agree with me. 6 out of 10, she'll agree. So that means 4 out of 6, she does not. You see what I'm saying? So I'm thinking that things are one way, and she'll be like, nah, I don't know. And now I have to check my ego on some shit. Okay. Fuck. All right. You might be right. Okay. Leave it alone. Okay. So I'm saying. So the reality is that what breaks you it's not in the end. It's in the unmasking of what must evolve. I'm gonna say that again because I've screwed the pooch on that one. What breaks you isn't the end. So it's not the end result that will break you. What what does it for the most part is it's the unmasking. So taking off that mask of what you have to become, of what you evolve into. If that makes any sense. Okay? So it's not gonna break you in the end. It's not going to. I mean, unless you want it to. And I guess it will. But all it's doing is showing you exactly who and what you are. That's it. There's nothing else into that. It was James Allen who said, "Our circumstances doesn't make us; it reveals the man to himself." I'll say that again. Our circumstances doesn't make us; it reveals the man to himself. So what does that mean? That means that, dude, it doesn't fucking matter like what's going on around you. What matters is who you are right here, right now, despite what's going on. That's where the fight takes place. Not out there, but in here. If you good in here, it doesn't matter what happens out there. You know what I mean, people? And again, I don't know if what they'll do to my channel, whatever, but you know what I mean, people stood up to Hitler during World War II and said, "Nah, fuck this. I'd rather die with dignity. You ain't put me in no oven. You not taking my shit. Man, homie, I'd rather just take the bullet." You know what I mean? People jumped off them slave ships from the continent of Africa coming over here and going over to Barbados and all that. They were like, "No, I'm not going to live like this." They jumped off the fucking boat knowing that they were going to die. Knowing. There's 2 books that I read. There was one called To Whom This May Concern, we're going to be killed or something like that. And then there's another one called Machete Season. Let me get it for you. Hold on. To Whom This May Concern, or About to Die. Okay, where's that book at? Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Tutsi and the Hutus. Here it is, found it. So this book right here, it's called We Wish to Inform You That Tomorrow We Will Be Killed with Our Families. That book right there. We wish to inform you that tomorrow we will be killed with our families. This book talked about the Rwandan genocide. And you can't call it a war because it was a genocide A genocide is when one group wipes out a whole entire other group. And here's the thing: it was government sanctioned. Government sanctioned. Now, this one here talks about people that are going to be murdered with their families, right? Now, let me show you something else real fast. Okay, let me come on find you. I'm going to show you this. This one here is called Machete Season. The killers in Rwanda speak. So you have two different types of books, right? One book, we wish to inform you that we're going to die with our families. That was from the one side, the people who were about to be killed. Machete Season are the killers talk about why they did it. Why they did it. I think that it's best to read them both to understand why these people thought that their countrymen lives didn't matter whatsoever. And the reason why they call it Machete Season is because that's what they chopped their own people up with, were machetes, because most of them were farmers, and that's what they would use to chop the whatever they were using to chop the cane and all that stuff, whatever down. So that's what they were using. If they had hoes, it'd have been shovel season, but they used machetes. And there was in one case, and I think it was Machete Season, where this family was running. And they were running. And they were running. And the person turned and stopped running. Got on their knees and just accepted what was going to happen. I know that's morbid as fuck to say that. I know that is. But I'm just telling you, dude. Dignity is still a choice. Dignity is still a choice. Dignity is a choice. Knowing that you're about to go is a choice. You know? I mean, not that it's a choice that you're about to leave, but how you go. I have all kinds of books up here of different people who talk about it. You don't think Malcolm X didn't know he was going to die before he did? He knew. He didn't want his family there with him. He knew what was going to happen to him. King, the same exact way. Medgar Evers, the same exact way. Majority of them knew by speaking out, having that microphone and that camera in your face basically marked you. Just saying. So I think that there's again, like I told you guys before, there's certain consequences that you need to accept before moving forward. Okay? That abyss, that death, and that rebirth, there's a consequence that come with it all. There's a consequence of going back too. Right? So the action is let what needs to die die. What rises next will be you reborn. I mean, I truly hope you guys understand that, because it's going to happen. You know, we are all reborn. We all die, like Renita said, several times. Several times until your time is up. and the physical body passes on, but the mental, spiritual, emotional, psychological, all that shit dies multiple times. You are always reshaped. You are always reframed, rechanged, restructured. That's how it happens. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, man, tonight has been amazing. I have not been able to talk to you guys, which I promise you I would love to. Would have loved to. This thing has told me that you guys have been talking to me this whole time, but I can't see anything. Like nothing. So I will honestly say I am truly sorry about that. Let me here, let me go in here. Look at that. Okay, and I see y'all. Okay, I'll just start using this on here. All right, guys, good night. I will see you tomorrow. I think I hopefully figured out how to run my thing or whatever. So tomorrow we'll kind of do things a little different. So anyhow, I will see you guys tomorrow night. Have a great night. Sleep well. And like I always tell you, man, dream big.